How would you capture the mood of the teams right now?
Well, right now, Pat, the hoopla's over. You know, they've waited maybe all their lives to be in this Super Bowl. They've waited 2 weeks since their last championship game. They're in those locker rooms now, and the locker rooms tend to start to get tighter. We see Anderson in there, sitting there in the locker room. It's the last time that you're going to have by yourself. It's your last few moments, the last time to think. And what you want to do now is you just want to get out of there and bust out of that locker room and get on this field and get it started with.
And it seems to all close in on you, John, when you're in that locker room and when you go out in that tunnel.
That locker room gets smaller and smaller the closer it gets to time. There's the officials. They're going to call. They've just knocked on the locker room door, and the team will start out now.
And once they get through that tunnel and take a look at this magnificent stadium, it's like opening the door and looking at the world. And here come the 49ers.
You know, walking down that tunnel is a very, very lonely feeling. But when you get out there and you get out into the open, then you feel the excitement of the 80,000 fans that are in this stadium.
There is no feeling quite like it. You look at Dwight Clark, who figures to be such an important cog this afternoon. And you can see the daylight at the end of the tunnel, and that's what they've all been shooting for since the very beginning. Serious football thoughts, John. Everyone has said that they felt that this would be a high-scoring game. How do you feel?
I think it'll be a high-scoring game. You know, neither defense, I don't feel, will stop the other offense, and that's not out of disrespect for the defenses, but out of great respect for both these offensive teams.
The two quarterbacks, Anderson, Montana, both are mobile, but there is a difference.
There is a difference. You know, Anderson will run for yardage. He'll run for first downs. He'll run up the field. He's the second leading ground gainer on the Bengal team. Now, Montana will run. He just moves a little to buy time. You know, if someone's not open, he'll move to the right, find another receiver. I think he's the best in football at that.
Now, finally, John, you having been a coach, we've spent a lot of time with Bill Walsh of the 49ers and Forrest Gregg of Cincinnati. Did you get any indication from either as to who you think might win?
No, I didn't. But the one you know, there was a lot of talk about Forrest Gregg, that, you know, that he was tight, that he was this and that. But I'll tell you, he was very loose. He was very relaxed. He knows what he has to do, and he's gotten that across to his team.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting offensive lineup of the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. First of all, at tight end, number 86, Charlie Young. At left tackle, number 61, Dan Audick. At left guard, number 68, John Ayers. The center, 56, Fred Quillen. At right guard, number 51, Randy Cross. At right tackle, number 71, Keith Von Horst. Wide receiver, number 87, Dwight Clark. Wide receiver, number 88, Freddie Solomon.
They can't beat us, Freddie.
At running back, number 32, Ricky Patton. The fullback, number 49, Earl Cooper. And the quarterback, number 16, Joe Montana. Head coach Bill Walsh and the rest of the NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers.
think he answered that. Freddie Solomon ran on the field, and he said, they can't beat us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for Cincinnati. At tight end, number 89, Dan Ross. The left tackle, number 78, Anthony Munoz. The left guard, number 62, Dave Lapham. The center, number 58, Blair Bush. At right guard, number 65, Max Montoya. The right tackle, number 77, Mike Wilson. At wide receiver, number 80, Chris Collinsworth. Wide receiver, number 85, Isaac Curtis. At running back, number 40, Charles Alexander. The fullback, number 46, Pete Johnson. And the quarterback, number 14, Ken Anderson. Now the head coach, Forrest Gregg, and the rest of the AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals. As it's frozen outside, but very pleasant inside the Silverdome in Pontiac. Pre-game activities continue at Super Bowl 16. Forrest Gregg with Bobby Lane. Let's go now to the PA announcer, Dan Hunter.
Poland.
Oh, is that right?
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for a moment of silence in honor of the proud and courageous people of Poland. Thank you. And now, to honor America, please join Detroit's own superstar, Miss Diana Ross, in the singing of our national anthem.
Can we sing our national anthem with authority? Sing with me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red flame
We'll be back with the toss of the coin right after this message. Cincinnati and San Francisco.
Bobby Lane, I'd like you to meet Ray Worshing, Keith Bonhurst, Archie Reeves. Over here we got Archie Griffin, Tom Dinkel,
I'm Jim LeClaire.
Bobby Lane,
Jim Howard.
May I see the coin first? All right, gentlemen, would you introduce yourselves to the captains?
You're so, hey, great job.
Let's take a look at the coin. This is heads, this is tails, this is a special coin for the Super Bowl 16. Now Bobby will throw the ball, toss the coin. San Francisco is the visitors, you'll call it in the air. All right, call it. Tails. Tails you call. Tails it is. Want the ball. Okay, let's go when you're defending.
We'll take the ball.
Let's go. All right, put your backs to the goals, please. San Francisco, on the toss, we'll receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
It doesn't really make any difference because we are indoors about the wind, but that's the story on who got the ball first. The teams that scored first won 13 out of 15 games.
That's right. Did you hear that? The 49ers won the toss, and then they asked Cincinnati what they wanted to do, and they said they wanted the ball too, so they both want the ball in the Super Bowl.
That was Forrest Gregg, and there, of course, is Bill Walsh. Bill with his ready list in his hands. He writes out about 25 plays before he ever starts a game, and he sticks to it better perhaps than any other coach. Jim Breach will kick off for Cincinnati. That's the return unit for San Francisco. It'll be Amos Lawrence, number 20, and Bill Ring back there with him. And Breach doesn't have the range perhaps of some of the other kickers, but he does have great control of the football, a size 5 shoe.
Maybe that's why he doesn't have a lot of range, Pat. With a size 5 shoe, you aren't going to kick it downtown, are you?
But Breach, nevertheless, has done a good job. Not only a size 5, but a different shoe on each foot.
And these kickers love this indoor stadium.
They all raved about this place. And Breach, perhaps, feeling a little pressure, hooks it out of bounds, and he'll move back 5 to the 30. Super Bowl 16. What a build-up. We've been here since Monday, and I felt like running down and playing.
I have goosebumps all over.
I'm glad we didn't. Temperature outside, 13 degrees with the wind chill factor minus 21. You can see the forecast. But inside is what counts right now for these 80,000 plus those on the field. Kenny Anderson loosening on the near side. The Bengals, the home team, thus they got to choose what jersey they'd wear. They chose the black with the tiger stripes. Breach will kick it off again from the 30 this time. There's the book this year on Kenny Anderson.
Now, that was a little different type of kickoff that time. The first one, they had a shift where they shifted over to the left, then Breach tried to kick it to that side, kicked it too far.
So now from the 30, Breach again. In that same direction. Amos Lawrence from the 9. Lawrence throwing down, fumbled, and the Bengals had it back. John Simmons made the recovery. Don Bass made the hit that knocked it loose.
What a way to start a Super Bowl. That's what Cincinnati wants to do. Come out, make something happen. Take the ball away. Look, right there we saw Frazier knock the ball right out of Armstrong's hand.
And Simmons made the recovery. So it'll be 1st and 10, Bengals at the 49er 26.5-yard line. A lot of people thought, so-called experts, that turnovers would decide. There's the first one. Alexander and Johnson behind Kenny Anderson, and Alexander flanks very wide to the left, almost out of bounds. Anderson will throw on first. He's He's got Isaac Curtis. He breaks one tackle. He's inside the 20 to the 18.
We were talking to Forrest Gregg this week, and I said, are you going to start running to settle down? He said, this is a Super Bowl. We're going to come out passing. There's no reason to settle down. Look at Isaac Curtis, just a little delay there, right in front of Ronnie Lott. Lott comes up, misses a tackle.
Did you notice, John, that the 49ers opened with a 4-man line defense? Now they've gone back to the 3. 2nd and 2. Pete Johnson gets the handoff. And the 255-pound fullback, or whatever he weighs, gets perhaps a first down. Craig Puki on the stop. Let's look at the offensive unit of the Cincinnati Bengals. Anderson, the quarterback. Pete Johnson, who just carried the fullback. Charles Alexander, the running back, the other back. Collinsworth, who's had such a great year, and Isaac Curtis, the wide receiver. Tight end, speaking of great years, Dan Ross had a dandy. Munoz, Lapham, Bush, Montoya, and Wilson up front. First down, Cincinnati.
About as close as you can get to get a first down, isn't it?
Close enough. Cincinnati fans are here in mass.
They've been here. We were here at 1 o'clock, and this place was half full at 1 o'clock, 3 hours before game time.
Last night when we came out of the hotel in downtown Detroit, it was just a sea of orange. Bengal mania. Kenny Anderson, 1st and 10. 2 tight end lineup. 1 lone setback. Anderson moves, scrambles, throws. Collinsworth. Dan Ross, the tight end. I'm sorry. That's the kind of pass he catches. Dwayne Board made the stop. Anderson with that mobility got away from the rush and found his tight end Ross.
You're right, and that's what helped him. He bought a little time here. As we'll see here, he gets rushed. There's someone right at his feet. You see here, he scrambles out to the right a little, takes a second, then a third one, and finds his big tight end, number 89, Dan Ross, in there. What a target he's been for Kenny Anderson.
71 catches on the year from Northeastern, and he's been a tremendous find for Cincinnati. Find might be a little old word because he's been good for a while. It's Johnson closest to Anderson and Alexander deep. 1st and goal. Alexander to the 4, breaks 1 tackle, knocked back to about the 5 by Willie Harper first. Let's look at that San Francisco defense. The front 3, when they're in the 3-man line, Stuckey, Reese, and Board. They make a lot of changes. The 4 linebackers, Harper, Reynolds, Pookie, and Keena Turner. In the secondary, that great young one, Lott, Wright, Williamson, and Dwight Hicks. No gain for Alexander, so make it 2nd and goal from the 5. No score. 2 tight ends again. Ross and M.L. Harris, number 83. Ross is on the left, Harris is on the right. Anderson drops. Is hit by Stuckey and dropped for a loss all the way back to the 11. A -6 on the sack.
I'll tell you what caused this was the pass rush. We'll see this. He's looking out to the left. He was trying to find his left tight end, M.L. Harris. He couldn't find anything to the left, and just when he turned to the right, there was big Jim Stuckey. We'll see 79 here making the rush. Starts outside of Wilson, comes back inside, and just as Anderson turned, he was right in his face.
A very good maneuver by Stuckey. And now they see Fred Dean lined up on the right side of the defensive line. He'll operate against Munoz. 3 receivers on the left for Cincinnati, and Anderson drops. Picked off. Intercepted by the 49ers, Dwight Hicks. Hicks to the 30 and out of bounds at the 32, and the Bengals come away empty.
I'm sure the 49ers know about the team that scores first in the Super Bowl. They started on the left-hand side. They had 3 receivers. That's called a triple formation. We can see all 3. Now, he was looking for the outside man, 85, Isaac Curtis, who comes in underneath. Hicks saw him all the way and stepped right in front of him for the interception.
Perhaps Anderson would like to have that one back, because Hicks was never fooled. He was there right from the very beginning. most important statistic in football.
Look at that. The top 5 teams that had the fewest turnovers were all in the playoff. But today we start this Super Bowl, and already we have 2 turnovers. 1 apiece.
And the 49ers will take over 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line. Montana will go ahead and throw. It's a screen to Patton. Ricky Patton gets about 8 before he is waffled by Eddie Edwards and Jim LeClaire. The offensive backs and receivers for San Francisco. Montana, Patton and Cooper the runners, Solomon and Clark the wide receivers. Tight end is Charlie Young, that's spelled correctly. Audick, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, and Fonhorst. The offensive line, not that big, but a very cohesive unit. Solomon, there was some doubt about him, but he looks healthy. Clark is lined up tight to the left. Look out for him. Clark has it. First down, San Francisco at the 44-yard line. Glenn Cameron made the stop.
Now, watching the 49ers over the year, early in the game, they like to get a first pass to Dwight Clark. This is Bill Walsh's idea because he's a big target in there, and you can always find him. Well, watch him. He's tight there. See the second man in, 87. Charlie Young goes in motion away. Now watch Dwight Clark. There's a tight end. So he's big enough to do that. Comes right across underneath the linebackers, catches a ball, turns it up the field.
First down, 49ers. This is Earl Cooper. He has to cut back quickly, and he does well to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ross Browner made the stop. Let's take a look at that very solid Cincinnati defense. Edwards, Wilson Whitley, and Ross Browner, the front 3. The linebackers, Harris, Williams on the outside, LeClaire and Cameron, the 2 on the inside. Very tough group. The secondary, Breeden and Riley, the corners, Kemp and Hicks, the strong safety and free safety. Bill Ring is now in the backfield with Earl Cooper on 2nd and 10. From the Bengal 44, Montana drops. Complete. Freddie Solomon, about 8 yards. Bobby Kemp made the tackle.
Another thing I like about this 49er team is they start out passing to establish a run. Now watch Freddie Solomon here. He's the outside man. He doesn't look like he's limping at all. He runs up. Now that's a hook in a zone between the corner and the linebacker. Under control, shoulder square back to the quarterback.
Some doubt about whether or not Solomon would be able to make it, but he said after he injured his knee, hey, this is a Super Bowl. Patton gives on a reverse to Solomon. He gives back to Montana. The pass is complete to Charlie Young, the tight end, and it's just a great catch by that veteran.
What a play that was. You know, Freddie Solomon in college at the University of Tampa was a quarterback. So, in fact, he's a 3rd quarterback on this team. Now, watch the play. It's a reverse. Hand it back to Patton. Hands to Solomon, who throws it back to Montana and up to Charlie Young.
Montana is now 4 for 4. But it took a great catch by Charlie Young just then to keep that stat in order. As Eason Ramson, who went in motion, Montana again. He throws high, almost picked off. That looks like Ray Griffin, who might have been in. Or is it Lewis Breeden? I only saw the 4. It's Breeden.
It was Lewis Breeden. He had a man in front of Breeden and a man behind Breeden. You see right there, there's a man in front of Solomon, and then he has Easton Ransom behind him, and he threw it over Solomon and in front of Ransom.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, the ball at the Cincinnati 33. They are just about in range for Ray Wersching right now. Earl Cooper is the lone setback. Montana gives to him. And Cooper barrels down close to a first down for San Francisco. Down inside the 25 to about the 23. Bobby Kemp made the tackle.
Those people aren't booing out there. They're saying, Coop, Coop. You know, everyone gets so concerned about the 49ers passing game that a lot of times the defense plays rather loose, and that allows that type of game.
Cooper trots off. There is Earl, who had such a great rookie year. There he goes. Bill Walsh said earlier in the week, I wouldn't be surprised if Earl Cooper didn't have a great day.
He thinks he plays much better on artificial turf than he does on regular turf.
Johnny Davis has replaced him. They give to Bill Ring. Ring over the right side stays on his feet and gets some good yardage. Lewis Breeden again made the tackle, but Ring gets down to the 15, almost.
Forrest Gregg doesn't like that because the last two plays, those are just power plays, and you don't like to have power. Now watch this replay. Watch Johnny Davis, number 38, the fullback. He comes in there, leads, reams out a hole for Bill Ring, who follows right in behind him and picks up about 7 yards.
That Johnny Davis got a good block on LeClaire that time to set that play up. The 9th play of this drive coming up.
Johnny Davis looks like a guard coming through there.
He's about 235. Ring and Cooper now the setbacks. Here's Cooper. Earl with a forearm shiver, but just before he went out of bounds against Ken Riley.
One of the things you try and do early in the game is run some sweeping plays, some wide plays to stretch out that defense so they don't tighten up on you. And that's what the 49ers did on that last play.
Bill Walsh. Coach of the year. The NFC. Walsh on 3rd down. They need about 3. Tough situation against these Niners. They don't mind throwing it. Wide open is Solomon. He's out of bounds at the 1. Lewis Breeden took him down.
This is something, the last 3 days they've been worried about Freddie Solomon. Watch, he starts outside, comes in motion inside Charlie Young, who runs to a post. He comes back inside, back to the outside. Lewis Breeden didn't get over there until after he had caught the ball. Here's Reggie Williams, the outside linebacker of the Bengals. He's their number 1 pass rusher and number 1 sacker, but that time Bill Ring put him up in the air.
He did a number. 1st and goal at the 1. Johnny Davis and Ricky Patton. Johnny Davis behind Montana, and it's a touchdown. Davis went over the top. Montana kept the quarterback sneak, and he got in.
I think that Bengal defense was in there. They're all tight. They're waiting for Johnny Davis. Now watch Montana. Just a little delay, steps to the right, and then dives over for the touchdown.
Ray Wershing now with Montana holding. We'll try the extra point, and yes, it's good. 5:52 left to play in the first quarter of Super Bowl 16, and the San Francisco 49ers lead 7-0. The San Francisco 49ers leading Cincinnati 7-0. That scoring drive was very impressive. They went 68 yards, 11 plays. Montana scored on a quarterback sneak, given a little boost from Johnny Davis. Wershing kickoff. Bounding around, fielded by Mercer. He started about the 6. He makes it back to about the 19. Rick Jervis tripped him up. And the Bengals have their 2nd possession. They were close, but an interception by Dwight Hicks turned them back. 49ers 13-1 over the year when they scored first. And they have scored first in Super Bowl 16.
Maybe that's why Joe Montana's smiling, huh?
First down, Cincinnati Bengals at the 19. Kenny Anderson, the quarterback, with Pete Johnson and Alexander behind him. And now Alexander comes out wide to the right. Anderson out to Johnson. Big Pete comes back inside, gets out to the 22.5. Bobby Leopold on the stop.
Here was a big play in the drive. It was 3rd and 3. Freddie Solomon starts out here, comes in motion. Charlie Young here runs a post pattern, and then Solomon from this point starts out, runs a corner pattern there, and that's the one that got him down to the goal line. Bad circle. Watch as you see, he starts in motion. Breeden comes in with him. Now watch as Charlie Young goes down there. He kind of picks off Breeden, forces him deep so that Solomon can get underneath.
Anderson back to throw again. They need 7 for a first. Outside Johnson. He's a big load out there when he starts that move upfield. Ronnie Lott got him around the ankles where you have to take him and took him down short of a first down.
Now that's Henry Bullitt down there, the defensive coordinator of the Bengals, and he's talking about the plays and the formation that the 49ers used on that last drive. See, they can straighten things right out there. So he's talking about the linebacker. He's talking about the outside linebacker coming.
A double tight end setup now. M.L. Harris and Ross both in the game, along with Mercer set up on the flank. They need a couple. Anderson, so dangerous and so good at this, has his first. Shoved out of bounds by Ronnie Lott. Anderson stops for a little chat.
Maybe pick up a play.
I would imagine they'll signal it in anyway. First down, Cincinnati. He was the second leading rusher on the Cincinnati team behind Johnson.
Right, Pete Johnson was their leading rusher, and their starting halfback, Charles Alexander, was third behind Anderson.
The players say that Forrest Gregg has radar eyes. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think it's good.
Depends on whether you're a player or not.
If Ben Bad isn't that good.
Anderson gives straight ahead Johnson. A couple. Stuckey led the San Francisco defense. Archie Reese also on the bottom of that pile. Cincinnati Bengals offense, 1980, 1981. They ranked 18th in 80 when Anderson was hurt quite a bit.
You know, a big part of that is Chris Collinsworth. They drafted him as a second-round draft choice, but what an addition he's made to this football team.
67 catches for Collinsworth. There he is. Over 1,000 yards. Here comes Alexander in motion on second down. 7. Anderson will put it up again. Fred Dean chases him from behind. Anderson can run. Slides. He might be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Eric Wright put the threat on him that made him go down.
You know, that was the thing we were talking about before the game. The way that Anderson runs, you watch those linemen, if they don't stay in their lane, now we'll see it here. You see Anderson drops back. He's trying to pass the ball. But now he looks, there's no one open. He sees a little lane right there. And now when he gets past that, he knows that he has enough to get up close to that first down. I'll tell you, he breaks teams' backs doing that.
It is third down, a yard at the 39. The Cincinnati 39. 49ers leading 7-0. Johnson will get the call, and Johnson, I believe, has enough for a first down. The Cincinnati fans think so, at least. Jack Reynolds is the man who made the stop.
Pat Haggerty thought so, the referee. He was giving it the ill sign first down.
More than 80,000 in attendance at the Silverdome. There's been a lot of questions, pro and con, about whether Detroit, Pontiac, and this stadium was the place to have a Super Bowl, but it's been a super week for us.
It really has. What cooperation we've had from everyone, the people in the town, the teams, the league, everything. This has really been a super week.
From the 41, first and 10. Anderson will throw again. Going deep for Collinsworth. Just knocked away at the last minute. What a play by Eric Wright. Collinsworth had a step.
He did. That was a great reaction at the end there by Wright. We see Ken Anderson. He thought that he had this one. Watch his throw. It really is a perfect throw. You want to throw it over his outside shoulder and in front of him right there. And really, I don't think Eric Wright touched that ball. Did you see Collinsworth running when he was trying to look behind him with going straight ahead?
His back was almost bent in the wrong direction, double. Collinsworth again, this time goes out to the left. There's the man who made that last play. He may not have touched it, but I think he blocked his view at least. Johnson, the lone setback. Stays in and now comes out. Pass, Collinsworth, out of bounds, incomplete. Eric Wright again out there with him. 1:46 left to play in the first quarter.
We were talking earlier about the running game and how you try and stretch the defense with your running game. You try and do the same thing with your passing game, and that's what they did with Collinsworth. Go deep early, throw one, let them know that you're going to do it, and make them play loose and off you.
Even if you don't complete it.
That's right. That's the best thing you can do early is sweep and throw deep.
It will be third down. They promised us they would throw, and indeed they have. Both teams. That's what got them there. No need to make a change. Kreider in the game now for Cincinnati. Anderson looking left and keeps looking left, and now is taken down by Keena Turner. He couldn't get anybody open. They had to tuck it away, and they'll have to punt.
The big difference in this play is that they brought their linebackers. They bring Keena Turner on a blitz. Now, Anderson sees there's no one open. Good coverage downfield. He pumps. Now when he starts to run by those linemen, they have another linebacker right there, number 58, Keena Turner.
Lawrence Pillars put the good pressure on Anderson and Pat McAnally. Look at his average in dome stadiums, over 50 yards, 6 feet 6 inches tall. This one won't help his average. Off the side of his foot. Takes a good bounce to Cincinnati and continues to roll. And it might help his average. It rolls all the way down to the 10-yard line. He didn't catch it. 53 yards. McAnally, 53 yards with a shank punt. So good things do happen. It's 7-0 San Francisco. Side of Super Bowl 16. It is San Francisco 7, Cincinnati nothing, with 1:01 left to play in the first quarter. Joe Montana moves his backs. Earl Cooper and Ricky Patton into the eye. First down throw to Dwight Clark. Very nearly picked off by Riley. That one was a little bit late from Montana.
It was a little late, and Ken Riley, number 13 in his 13th year, you know, he's an old, experienced cornerback there, and you don't mess too much with these people. You know, they see it, we watch here, a little late, as you say, but Riley has a good jump on the ball, and that came very close to being a touchdown.
We were almost in a 7-7 game.
Watch Reggie Williams here again. He's their leading sacker. We see that right after Montana threw the ball, or right at the time, Reggie Williams hit him.
Two tight ends now for San Francisco as Eason Ransom is one of them. Oh, this was Ricky Patton taken down by Ross Browner. Way back at the 3-yard line, a loss of 7.
And that is a big play. He's on the right of the screen here. We're going to see the outside. He takes a little inside move, flattens out right down the line of scrimmage, and picks up Ricky Patton before he can get his shoulders turned up.
Got in behind John Ayers, who was pulling. He and Montana played together at Notre Dame.
The 49ers don't get out of here on this play. That could be a big play because they don't have the 15 yards for their punter.
Line of scrimmage. Back at the 3. Penalty marker down. That would be the first one of the day as Earl Cooper comes out on the carry, stopped by Eddie Edwards.
And that was the one that comes from real deep in the backfield, usually against the tight end.
A Bengal player still on the ground, one of their linebackers. I see Williams still walking around.
I think that last penalty, Pat, was against the Bengals.
Defense declined the penalty. First down.
The injured player is Tom Dackel, and the Cincinnati trainer and medical staff is still administering to him. 5 seconds left to play first quarter. Pat Haggerty is the referee. First Super Bowl he's worked, so it has to be quite an honor for him and all of his officiating staff. Dinkel's still down. Horace Gregg over on the sideline.
We're talking to Henry Bulla, the defensive coordinator. sometimes you have that problem in that sub defense. Some go in and not enough come out.
San Francisco 7, Cincinnati nothing. Cincinnati had too many men on the field. 49ers accepted the penalty. Now Dinkle is sitting up.
We'll see what happened to him. There's Tom Dinkle there, number 52. He's the man coming across the field. See, he's picking up Cooper from behind. Here it is right there. You see when his head hit the side of Cooper, that looks like when he got his injury.
Looked as if the side of his head hit Cooper's hip. But he appears now to be okay.
That's always a good sight.
Tom Dinkle walking off, still a little wobbly. From Kansas, a 4-year veteran. It'll be 3rd down for San Francisco and 11 now at their own 9. So at least they do get some breathing room. They were backed up after the loss when Ross Browner caused some chaos. 30-second clock ticking away with now 20 seconds left on it. So no problem there. That's Ricky Patton. Well shy of the 1st down, and that would be the last play of quarter number 1. As San Francisco's punting unit comes on, Mike St. Clair made the tackle. And we'll look at San Francisco's barefooted kicker, Jim Miller, when we come back. Jim Miller, there he is, one shoe on and one shoe off. Lived on a farm in Mississippi when he was a boy, he said. Didn't have anybody to play with, so he kicked rocks and cans and footballs, all barefoot.
Mike
Fuller. Yes. Mike Fuller. Back deep for the Bengals. Back there by himself. Miller has never had a kick block. And this is a dandy. High. Back to the 44 to Fuller. And Fuller gets near midfield, and he's knocked down quickly by Rick Jervis. First man there. This game is going all over the world. One of the places it's going is to the Mexican television network. Would you like to hear how it sounds to them? Let's pick up a little of their audio.
Y detener al hombre antes de que pudiera avanzar una yarda. Están en la yarda 49 exactamente.
Bueno, aquí estamos con ustedes, llevándoles desde nuestro palco de transmisión. Ahí ven ustedes.
So take that. French Canadians also.
À la ligne de 49 où ce sera premier jeu avec Anderson.
Key word there was Anderson. Collinsworth in motion. The give is to Johnson. He gets into San Francisco territory to about the 46. Craig Pookie on the bottom of the pile, the first 49er to make contact. And also to Japan. You'd expect this to be efficient, wouldn't you?
皆さんご覧ください。ここから放送しているんです。アメリカの放送でも東京ブロードキャスティングシステムと書いてあります。
Which one of those was the analyst?
I don't know. I wonder if they have a chalkboard.
That I would like to see. 2nd and 5 for Pete Johnson. Line of scrimmage to San Francisco 46. Collinsworth is unsure about the formation. He looked back inside to Anderson, and Collinsworth said, I want a timeout, and Anderson wisely took it.
Timeout.
There's
Cincinnati.
the Cincinnati player, Tom Dinkle, who was injured a minute ago over on the bench. The word we have is that he was hit in the head. We saw that, but he will be back just a little bit. Ronnie Lott was number 1. John Hardy, who's still with the team. Eric Wright and Carlton Williamson, those first 3 in yellow, all starters. And Lynn Thomas, also a good find, who just made that last play.
Right, and he comes in all the passing situations.
First down, Cincinnati. At the 28-yard line of San Francisco. Alexander doesn't carry it much. 49ers are ready quickly. He might have gotten 2. Willie Harper led that defense.
You know, with those draft choices, you said they had the first 3 players. Look what they did with that. They were 27th in defense in 1980, and they drafted those 3 starting defensive backs. They went up to 2nd this year. Of course, they've also added Hacksaw Reynolds and Fred Dean.
415 points allowed in 80, 250 this year. Dean is on the field right now, number 74. And Lynn Thomas makes the recovery, number 28. And so San Francisco dodges another bullet. And they'll have the football when we come back.
Not only runs, he has pretty good speed. He gains some ground on those guys.
We had a penalty against San Francisco, pass interference, we thought. They only gave him 5 yards and did not move the sticks up to the spot of the foul. Well, I think John has some information about that, but here's Earl Cooper with some room. Cooper breaks a tackle, gets into Cincinnati territory. Knocked down by Glenn Cameron, but he has a 49er first down.
And they're yelling, "Coop, Coop, Coop" on that one. On that play when Cincinnati had the ball, when the ball was in the air, he was hit. Now watch Bo Harris, number 53, is the outside linebacker. Fawnhorse comes in, gets him to the inside so Cooper can get free around the right end.
First down. There's a story on Earl Cooper. First and 10 at the Cincinnati 48. And Cooper remained behind Montana. Now they shift. Patton. Ricky Patton gets inside the 45 to about the 44.
There's Bill Walsh, and see now he sends in a play. Usually they signal in from the sideline. In the last game, Pat, when they played Cincinnati, they felt that Cincinnati had their signals. So they changed their signals for this game, and Bill said he'll send in some and signal some.
There is their backup quarterback who usually does the signaling, Guy Benjamin. Montana intended for Solomon again. He threw it out of bounds.
Montana's pass intended for Solomon, incomplete. Covered by Lewis Green.
There's Bill Walsh. He has that list there in his right hand. Now, as we said earlier, he has down the 25 plays, the first 25 plays that he's going to use in this game. And he gives them to Guy Benjamin, number 7, who signals them into Joe Montana.
That doesn't necessarily mean that he will use them in that order. He just wants to get them done.
Right, and then, you know, these short yardage and goal line, of course, would take him out of those.
Charlie Young is split way at the top of your picture, the tight end. Clark was in motion. Montana, if he has time, will throw. This is what he does well, and Clark does that well, too. First down, San Francisco. Hit by Lewis Breeden first. Clark has that uncanny ability to get open, and Montana can buy enough time until he can do it.
And he did on this play. We'll see Montana go back here. Clark comes in motion. Now he starts in. It's supposed to be an in. You see, he was going to throw inside to Clark. When Clark sees him scramble, he scrambles out with him to the outside. That is teamwork. Here comes Clark in motion. Now watch, he's going to run an in pattern. You see him start in. Now right here, he sees him scramble, so he scrambles with him.
First and 10 at the 32. Ricky Patton barrels down to just outside the 20, perhaps the 21. Very near another San Francisco first down. Ken Riley tripped him up.
Now there's Bill. We know that this play is on his list because he looked at his list, gave it to Dwight Clark, changed his mind, though, didn't it?
Now you look back at Benjamin, who sent his signal in. It'll be 2nd and 1 at the 22. Mike Schumann in the game. The handoff is inside to Patton. He'll have a first down inside the 20 with some to spare. Jim LeClaire, the tackler for Cincinnati.
As we were watching that last sequence over there, I think Bill Walsh thought it was a first down. There's a defensive staff. The first person there is Henry Bulla, who is a defensive coordinator, and we see him sending in the defense for the Bengals.
The other is a former teammate of mine, Dick Modulewski.
Was he Big Mo or Little Mo?
He's Little Mo.
And they had no Mo?
They had no Mo, and they had Dynamo. First and 10, San Francisco. Fake to Cooper, the handoff to Clark. He's going nowhere. Lewis Breeden there very quickly. And a penalty marker goes down. Perhaps a late hit.
That was a reverse. The other day, we were watching the 49ers practice, and off this play, they have a pass. I'll tell you, this is a big mistake for the Bengals here. Watch this. We see Clark coming in. It's the end of the run. He really didn't gain anything. Now, everything is okay there. He goes down, the whistle blows, and it's that last blow in there by Jim LeClaire, number 55. That's 15 big yards.
And they walk it off against Cincinnati.
Personal foul, number 55, defense, first down.
That was the voice of Pat Haggerty, the referee. Here, watch 55.
You know, right there, everything's okay. The whistle probably blows, but after the whistle blows, you can't hit him. The other rule is you can't hit him in the head.
1st and 10 from just outside the 10. The throw to Cooper, and Cooper scores for San Francisco from Montana. Big Earl Cooper.
Now we'll see Cooper fake through to the right, then he just goes across underneath all the coverage, picks it up, takes it into the end zone.
Worshing with Montana holding makes it San Francisco 14, Cincinnati nothing. Earl Cooper. We mentioned before that Bill Walsh thought he might be a big factor today, and he surely has been that. San Francisco 14-0. Throws up to his tight end Ross. Ross cuts up field for Bengal first down to the 15. Craig Pookie tripped him up.
Again, we see, Dan Ross is probably one of the best tight ends in football at this. Getting deep, getting underneath between linebackers. You see, he's a big target in there, 89. He gets behind the linebackers and in front of the secondary. Watch him. You see what he did? He went down that time. See, he faked like he was blocking and then got up and came across. That is a big Cincinnati play. They always do that.
First down at the 15. That goes back to the days of Paul Brown. Anderson outside Curtis. Incomplete. Ronnie Lott on the coverage.
Talking about Paul Brown, of course, Paul Brown was one of the great all-time coaches in this game, and we see a lot of his influence in this. Look at this, both touchdowns. The Bengals had an interception. The 49ers got 7 points out of it. Then they had a fumble, and the 49ers got another 7. All their 14 points have really result of turnover.
And both times, Cincinnati was down inside the 5-yard line. Second down. Anderson drops. Gonna have to hurry. Gets away from one. He gets it out to Ross. Ross has it go right through his hands. Lawrence Pillars is the one who made Anderson do the moving.
Let's watch Fred Dean on his rush here, and you'll see. Now watch Ross. You see, he's coming in, cutting Fred Dean first. Munoz, number 78, just waits for him. Ross then gets up and comes underneath. Now, that was a good pass. He was ready to turn up and start running before the ball got there.
That can be a very effective double team, I think, when the first man to hit the blocker or the defender turns out to be the initial receiver. Anderson drops again. Fires. Pass is caught this time by Ross. He'll be about a yard short of a first down, it appears. Bobby Leopold.
Well, one thing, we'll see him here. Now it'll be a single block by Anthony Munoz. You get him thinking. See, now here we go. He's trying to get an inside move, but Munoz is so big at 275 pounds and so strong that when he took that inside, he said, okay, you're going in there, I'll let you go there. Boom, right to the ground.
Took him down right by Anderson's feet. Here's McAnally. One punt so far today, 53 yards. Trying to block this one. McAnally hangs this one high and deep. Dwight Hicks starts upfield. Is swarmed on by Cincinnati. Good coverage by the Bengals. First man down was John Simmons, number 25. We have 4 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in the first half, and the score is the San Francisco 49ers 14, Cincinnati nothing. Dome from outside. A Teflon top. And inside, what a marvelous sight this is. Over 80,000 people. It will accommodate. First down, San Francisco at their own 34. They lead 14-0. They put Solomon in motion. The fake is to Patton. Good fake. Clark is open. He'll have a first down in Cincinnati territory. Bobby Kemp, the defender.
Those are the greatest passes to throw on first down, and we'll see what the fake does. When you fake a run, you're trying to hold these linebackers in here so that you can get him into this area. Now watch how the fake affected those inside linebackers. So, you know, here's a fake. They step up, and Clark is able to get right in behind them.
First down, San Francisco. They start from the Cincinnati 49. Ricky Patton, the ball carrier, got a couple. Ricky went to high school in nearby Flint, Michigan. He and Williams were teammates, the Cincinnati linebacker. The only difference was in high school, Williams was a tailback and Patton was a linebacker.
Right.
Now they've reversed roles.
How did he get that name, Ricky?
His mother enjoyed television, particularly I Love Lucy. His real name is Ricky Ricardo Patton. His full name, I should say. 2nd and 7. He'll get another try. And Ricky Patton rolls down to about the 40. Very close to another Niner first down.
Ricky Patton didn't play in the championship game against the Cowboys. Bill Walsh said he wasn't ready, but he's ready for this Super Bowl. It's that shoulder square, boom, turn it upfield.
Ross Browner came from the other side of the defense to make the stop. Ricky Patton, who bounced around Atlanta, Green Bay, left his heart in San Francisco. And he likes it. First down, 49ers. 39-yard line of Cincinnati. The line of scrimmage. Clark is lined up tight on the left side this time. A formation they like very much. Mike Wilson also in the game. To Cooper. Cooper breaks Leclerc's tackle, but Kemp and Hicks were right there quickly. That'll be the 2-minute warning. 49ers leading 14-0. Joe Montana, number 16, is 10 out of 13 for 113 yards as his team leads 14-0. Montana threw the 1 touchdown pass to Earl Cooper. He scored the other one on a quarterback sneak. A lot of people wild about Joe Montana right now. Second down, San Francisco. They need 6 for a first. They operate from the Bengal 35. Charlie Young was the man in motion. Browner is close. Pass was intended for Young as Montana just barely got it away. Glenn Cameron knocked it loose from Charlie Young.
Glenn Cameron didn't go for that fake. They brought Charlie Young across, held him there, and tried to bring him underneath Cameron. Glenn Cameron just waited right there for him.
Montana once again looking to the sideline.
Watch now, Charlie Young is on the left. We see him right there. Now watch the hit that he takes after he throws the ball. Boy, those quarterbacks really take a beating.
Eddie Edwards was the man first there. So it'll be 3rd down and 6. Montana. Clark. What a catch. Dwight Clark hit in the back just as he made the reception, but a diving catch by Dwight Clark.
I don't know how Dwight Clark does it. You know, you see Dwight Clark, he catches those things on the sidelines and up the field. But I'll tell you, when he goes inside, he always gets this type of thing. Watch him working on Riley. He gets his hand on him, Can he stretch out and catch that ball in the middle of the field?
That was not a bad job by Riley.
No, that's as close as you can get.
Clark has to take a little vacation on the sideline. He's replaced by Mike Schumann. The handoff is to Ricky Patton with a couple of blockers in front. Patton out of bounds on the far side of the field. 49ers fans seated on that side think he was hit out of bounds. Reggie Williams did the hitting.
That Bengals sideline, you can say that they're really concerned about this drive. At 14-0, this is a big deal for the Cincinnati Bengals. They have to stop the 49ers now. They can't let them get that third one in there.
Very solemn group. Anthony Munoz, outstanding offensive lineman of the year in the NFL. Cincinnati, you remember earlier, had to call a timeout, so they only have 2 left. San Francisco has all of theirs. Second down from the 22. Solomon in motion. Handoff Cooper. Earl Cooper rolls down to almost the 15 before Ross Browner trips him up.
Well, the 49ers having their 3 timeouts left, they can really run the clock down. They let a little of it go. They're taking a timeout right now, but they would like to get a score, and when they do, not leave any time on the clock for the Bengals.
San Francisco's first down total doubles Cincinnati, 14-7. The score does better than that. The 49ers 14, the Cincinnati Bengals nothing. By the National Football League. 3rd and 1, 54 seconds left to play in the first half of Super Bowl 16. San Francisco again on the move and leading 16-0. 14-0, sorry. 16 is the quarterback. He needed 1, he got it. He scored a touchdown like that earlier in this game. It's been an effective play all year long.
You know, another effective thing that the 49ers have done, they've had 7 third down situations, and they've picked up 6 of them.
They're going quickly as Solomon goes in motion and Montana goes back. Outside Solomon, he has it. Out of bounds at the 5.
Bill Walsh, how calm he is there. I'm so impressed with every play is a different play. Every receiver is a different receiver. We saw Solomon come across in motion. He'll come up the field and then run an out pattern to the sideline.
He's not playing like he's hurt, is he?
No. He says, this has been too long and we've really done too much this season to miss the Super Bowl.
Second down, 29 seconds left in the first half. The Bengals with their backs to the wall. Here's Montana rolling right and looking and throwing. Clark caught it. Incomplete. The ball came flying out of the bottom of the pile. Clark appeared to have it for just a minute with Glenn Cameron wrapped all over him.
Looked like Glenn Cameron. It looked like the free safety, Brian Hicks, was there also. We'll see it. This looks like the big play that they got against Dallas. The same thing. He starts to the side. Instead of going to the receiver, he goes inside. And you're right. We saw Hicks come in first and knock the ball away.
32 at the Cincinnati 5.
It'll be 3rd and 2 at the Cincinnati 5. A 12th play in this drive. San Francisco dominating the first half. Montana looks into the end zone and throws it out of there. On purpose. And Ray Wersching, who never looks up once he starts from the sideline, he never looks even at the goalpost.
This is an interesting thing. He won't look at the goalpost. You see him feel Montana there, and he'll say, help me, help me, help me, to get the spot. Now you see he touches him once he has his spot. Now he looks at the hash marks on the field because the hash marks are an extension of the goalpost.
And he still hasn't looked up.
No, and he won't.
If it's good, he'll look up. It's good. 22 yards out. Ray Wersching. San Francisco 17, Cincinnati nothing. We invite you to stay with us at the half. We'll be switching to that triumvirate. Brent Musburger on the right, Roger Staubach in the middle, and Terry Bradshaw. Plus the Up With People halftime show, which is just outstanding. Brandon Irv and Terry Bradshaw and Roger Staubach with all kinds of analysis of the first half. And the Up With People show.
But that's the first time that those two quarterbacks have been at the Super Bowl and wearing a flower on their lapel, isn't it?
I think you're right.
They've been used to being down there and playing in this
with
game.
Helmets on against each other.
Right.
San Francisco 17, Cincinnati nothing. And we're winding down the first half. 15 seconds left to play. They have to be very satisfied with what has transpired in the Silverdome first half. Bengals have 2 timeouts remaining. David Verser will handle it if Wersching catches it right. Both teams 2 timeouts remaining. San Francisco's don't matter.
I would think with 15 seconds, Pat, that probably the Bengals timeouts really don't matter either. I think they'll just take this kickoff return. Unless they get an exceptional kickoff return, they'll probably just run the clock out.
Or unless San Francisco gets another turnover. Tough one to handle. Scramble inside the 5. And let's see, the clock is stopped with 5 seconds to go. San Francisco 49ers thinking they have it, and they could break the whole thing open right now if they do. San Francisco has it.
I know Bill Walsh in that sideline. I know they'll go for another one right here. Watch Archie Griffin. It was a ball that was tough to handle. Then he couldn't pick it up. Just as he went to, he gets hit. We'll see his brother, Ray Griffin, try and pick it up. He can't get it, and the 49ers end up with it.
Rick Jervis made the hit on Griffin, and Milt McCall, a reserve linebacker, made the recovery. That is the 3rd Cincinnati turnover. It'll be 1st and goal, San Francisco at the 4-yard line. Wersching is already present.
I thought they may take one shot at the end zone being that close, and then if they didn't get it, kick a field goal. But Bill Walsh must feel that with 5 seconds, he better get to 3.
Ray Wersching still looking at the artificial surface. Somebody jumped. Still 5 seconds on the scoreboard clock. Walt Downing.
Start offense.
False start against the offense.
False start. Bill Walsh is there. He wasn't even upset about that. But here's a big story in this game. Look at those turnovers. Cincinnati 3, San Francisco 1.
Start, 62 and 71 offense.
If you're playing for Cincinnati, of course, you have to be very aware of the fact that Montana can not only can throw it, he can run with it. Wersching pops it right through. San Francisco 20. Cincinnati nothing. 2 seconds still remain in the first half.
We'll think of that regular season game, and remember, just about the same thing happened. The Bengals had 6 turnovers in that game, and that was the one thing they said that we can't do. You see that they had 6 turnovers, and the 49ers only had 1, and the score was 21-3.
They've had 3 turnovers in this game, and the 49ers have scored after every one of them.
You know, that's the important statistic. In the championship game, the 49ers had 6 turnovers, but Dallas only scored 1 time after those 6 turnovers.
That's what's happened. Interception, San Francisco got a score. Fumble, San Francisco got a score. Another fumble, and San Francisco just got 3. Wersching again set to kick off. Verser and Griffin back deep for Cincinnati, but Wersching has been bouncing it and does it again. This time, you'll just stay with it. A little scuffle broke out between Amos Lawrence. At the beginning of that, Eric Wright comes in to join things. But that's the end of the first half, as Bill Walsh takes his 49ers into what has to be a very happy locker room. They lead They lead Cincinnati 20-0. Ronnie Lott.
The